Okay, so in the previous lecture, we were discussing about heterotrophic ossification. What is heterotrophic ossification? Heterotrophic ossification means there is ossification of soft tissues. The soft tissues here around the joint, which are extracapsular, which are extra articular, ossify થશે એટલે કે new bone formation થશે or calcium soft tissues muscles માં deposit થવા મળશે tendons and muscles અને થશે તો normal range of motion will be lost, normal flexibility of the muscle will be lost. Yes, loss થઈ જાય, that is irreversible change. પછી શું કરવાનું? Only option that we are left with is uh, pharmacologically diphosphate, physical therapy, some portion, and always in the later stages it will require surgery. So the only option that we have is to prevent as much as possible. Also, we saw that typically develops adjacent to large joint. Hip joint is the most prone location. Yes, specifically hip flexor muscles. They are most prone for development of such disorder. That is hypertrophic ossification. It is an indirect impairment of spinal cord injury. Coming to pain. Now, pain can be because of various reasons. Yes, the most common reason is road traffic accident. When they happen, it will always lead to fractures. Yes, any road traffic accident will always lead to some form of mild or large scale impact on the bones. Bones affect thase, that means there will be fracture. And fracture thase, so of course it will be pain. Ligamentous of soft tissue damage. Fracture can be high. First is the skin, then comes superficial fascia, deep fascia, then comes the muscle, then comes the bone. Yes, so if bone is hampered or bone is fractured, at that time it might have also led to injury to other structures. Ligament and features of tissues like muscle. Muscle may go for spasm protective mechanism. ક્યારે પણ muscle ને overuse થાય or injury થાય, it will lead to always spasm. Spasm and pain are vicious cycle. જેટલું spasm વધારે એટલું pain વધારે, જેટલું pain વધારે spasm વધશે. So this keeps on increasing, vicious cycle. Yes, one after the other it follows, and because of this, there are chances the pain will be of high intensity. Early surgical intervention directly post trauma, if surgery is done, that will also hamper or increase the chances of getting healed. Management, immobilization, analgesics can be given in tens in the form, can be given to the patient on the local areas. Analgesics can be systemic or can be local. Nerve root pain. What causes this? Acute compression or tearing of the nerve roots. Now, when the muscle is damaged, the layers above the muscle and also the bone is damaged, bone fracture phase, there are chances nerve may also get compressed, impinged, or cut, partially cut. Yes, complete. If sensory loss is cut off, sensory nerve is completely cut. So, પછી શું થાય? Sensation loss, anesthesia. Fine. Half it is severe. Half is jo affect થાય, that means there are chances the patient will have different types of sensation, like paresthesia, breathing type of sensation, hypoesthesia, or even hyperesthesia. Peri-radical scar tissue and adhesion formation. Yes, now શું કામ થશે? Scar tissue formation and adhesion formation over the superficial structures. એ પણ એને compress કરશે, immobility લઈ આવશે. Immobile થઈ જશે, that means the nerve is trapped there. એક વાર trap થઈ ગઈ તો it will cause pain. Specifically, we are talking about the sensory as well as mixed type of, and only that will cause the pain. Motor part, only pure motor nerves can never produce pain. And improper reduction, fracture થયું છે, reduction સરખું નથી થયું, during surgery nerve injured થઈ, or the reduction is as such it leads to compression of the nerve, then there are chances the patient will complain of pain. What is the management? Pharmacological therapy. Again, analgesics, one of the best treatments that can be provided. Neurectomy and rhizotomy along with TENS can also be given. Neurectomy, removal of the whole motor neuron, sensory neuron, and rhizotomy, removal of part of the spinal cord, that will lead to reduction in pain. Carrying the ascending fibers. The ascending fibers pain directly we cut those fibers. No nerve, no pain. Yes, so that is what is the basic line of treatment for such nerve root pain. nerve root. Nerve root क्या वो spinal cord. It originates from the spine. Yes, peripheral nerves they originate from the spine. The spine માં જ problem છે, the spine ને or the tracks which are being moved from that specific point ત્યાંથી move થશે, that will lead to pain. And we can remove those parts and accordingly pain will be lost. Musculoskeletal. So frequently involves the shoulder joint related to faulty positioning. So first is position. Yes, if you keep the hand continuously this way in external rotation and flexion, the capsule is loose. Also, when the patient is in spinal shock, first phase, yes, so spinal shock હોય અને તમે position સરખી ના રાખો તો nerve compress થતી હોય, injure થઈ શકે અને એના લીધે musculoskeletal pain ને arise. Inadequate range of motion limited, that will lead to limited range of motion will lead to tightness. Tightness, if again not cured, will lead to contractures. Yes. So this is again one of the reasons why there will be pain. પછી તમે આને stretching કરવાની try કરો, there will be some portion that is pain. Inadequate range of motion and role as tonic stabilizer to substitute for the trunk. Now our body as a whole, we need stabilizers. Yes. Whenever this thing we have emphasized in exercise therapy also, આપણે ઘણીવાર વાત કરેલી periphery or distally, if you want to first thing you need is stabilization of the proximal part. Axial skeleton આખું stabilized થશે પછી જ periphery માં કોઈ પણ movement possible. Yes, same thing if when there is spinal shock, motor control is lost. Yes, along with that sensory loss is also there. That is what we are talking about, that is pain. So જ્યારે તમારી પાસે હશે જ નહીં stabilization, one part or both parts are affected, so there is no movement possible. Yes, and if you try to do movements, that will be abnormal movements, and because of this, because of the stabilization is not there, it will lead to activation of other muscles which should not be activated. Activate થશે એટલે use થશે, there are chances it will overuse and that will lead to again management. Regular range of motion exercises, so that might be passive if not active. Active જ કરાવવાની છે પેશન્ટને, active assisted, but if not able to do, then we also go for passive range of motion. Osteoporosis and renal calculi. Osteoporosis, in the last lectures with stroke we had discussed this. Yes, why is there osteoporosis, chance of osteoporosis? First is weight gain, always Bull's law. Weight bearing ઘટી જાય, weight bearing ના થાય તો calcium does not get deposited into bones. Bones weak થઈ જશે, and weak bones chances of fracture. So this will directly lead to fracture, osteoporosis. Imbalance between the bone resorption and bone formation. Resorption means blood bone or calcium move. Yes, resorption. And formation, the blood the bone move. Yes, so it is a continuous process that happens. Calcium if bone that does not mean it will remain there only. Yes, it continuously moves out of the bone into the blood, and blood માંથી પાછું આપણે diet માંથી in લઈએ છે, digestion through blood through bones સુધી જશે. Yes, wherever required calcium will be used. જ્યારે પણ deficit હશે બોડીમાં calcium, say for example muscles are not getting enough amount of calcium, તો આવશે ક્યાંથી calcium? તમે diet માં નથી લેતા ત્યાં સુધી that the patient bone will be utilized to have blood calcium level increased and ત્યાં muscles પાસે પહોંચશે. Yes, same thing if resorption and formation, right, balanced process, જેટલું resorption થતું હોય એટલું formation થતું or એનાથી વધારે formation થતું હોય તો stronger make the bone stronger. But જો imbalance થાય અને resorption વધતું જાય, that will lead to decrease in the bone density. Density, mass by volume. Yes, so volume of the bone is same, જેટલું પણ area cover કરે છે same રહેશે, પણ mass એમાં calcium ઓછું થઈ જાય. Yes, so it leads to decreased bone density. Decreased bone density, there are chances of fracture. This is termed as pathological fractures, not physiological. Secondary to immobility and lack of stress on skeletal system. Bull's law. Yes, always weight bearing is directly proportional to resorption and absorption. Specifically absorption. જેટલું વધારે weight bearing આવશે, weight bearing in the two forms. પહેલું gravity through, હમણાં ઉભો છું, gravity acting continuously, and because of this, the force on the bones is there. એનાથી directly more and more amount of calcium will be deposited in the bones. Second, muscle action. You do resisted exercise. એમાં muscles are exerting the force on the bone. કઈ રીતે? Origin and insertion of the muscles are always linked to the bone. Yes, that is why the condyles of all the large bones, humerus, femur, all this have condyles. Yes, because સૌથી વધારે stress ત્યાં આવતું હોય. Condyles are the main of all the major muscles, large muscles or two joints. How do we manage this? So, પહેલું diet, calcium diet માં સરખું લેવાનું. That is the first thing. Second, prevention of urinary tract infection. Osteoporosis is not linked. Here we are talking about renal calculi. Yes, kidney stones, to speak in the layman term. So, why is it so common? Because of the infection, because of the urine retention. Urine there are chances it will get deposited and calculi can be formed. And of course, early weight bearing activities. We can utilize many things for weight bearing activities. Say, for example, planting weight, modified planting weight position, aquatic therapy can be given to the patient. Some form of weight bearing can be given. Prognosis. We have completed all the signs and symptoms. The signs and symptoms are direct as well as indirect. Now we want to see what will be the prognosis of such a patient to improve future. Yes, once the condition has happened, which is a low incidence condition, but still the disability rate is much more higher. So what will be the prognosis? So potential for recovery is influenced by first degree of pathological changes imposed by the trauma. Because of the trauma, because of the reason why the patient has spinal cord injury, કેટલી pathology છે, that means also the level of injury. That will always determine what will be the prognosis. Second, precaution taken to prevent further damage. Now, most important part. If the patient is heavy, you are walking on the road, તમે જુઓ છો, some guy from a motorbike has slipped down, you see his spinal cord is injured, vertebra is injured, he is not able to move. What do you do next? The first thing that you will be doing, that you should do, is to check for if he is conscious or not. Yes, if he is conscious, he is telling you that I cannot do something, if I cannot move or something, then you need to call the ambulance. Yes. After that, when the ambulance arrives, what should we do? Should we drag the patient or help him get up? If you are sure that the vertebral column has been injured, vertebra affect થયા છે, injured થયા છે, probably fracture થયા છે, તો શું તમે એને ઉપાડીને or in any way give him support and move him to the rickshaw or the ambulance that has come up? You never do that. Never. Yes. You might have seen in movies, they count. There are 3 or 4 individuals, one at the shoulder level, one at the waist level, one at the legs, and one at the head. Yes. They take each part and then they count 1, 2, 3, now move. Yes. And all the 3 coordinatedly move the patient to another part. May that be a stretcher or it can be to a seat of an automobile. Yes. So this is to be done. Why? Once, say for example, cervical region is fractured. Yes, C7 is completely fractured. And now, fracture na લીધે કાંઈ જ થયું નથી. Because of the fracture, it has not led to spinal cord injury. હજી નથી થયું. But when you start moving that fractured part, ಈ fractured part છે એના segments થઈ ગયા છે, burst fracture હોય, any form of fracture, you will, when you are moving it, તો શું થશે? એ ત્યાં move થશે. Move થશે, that means સૌથી નજીક structure કયું, which is most potential for damage, spinal. And if you are damaging the spinal cord by this movement, it is your fault. So what is to be done? Precaution is to be taken to prevent further damage. Agar pachu damage na થાય, vertebral column fracture છે, spinal cord injury na થવી જોઈએ. Third, prevention of additional damage to liver tissues from hypoxia and hypotension. Also, hypoxia, decreased amount of oxygen, and hypotension, decreased blood pressure. Both of these are to be prevented. Why will this happen? Road traffic accident, multiple fractures, the patient will have vertebral column fractures, visual fractures, and there blood loss થાય એટલે hypotension થાય. Overall આખા બોડીમાં blood જ ઓછું થઈ જશે. And also the amount of blood that the patient is receiving, that may also have less amount of oxygen. Yes. So these two reasons we need to prevent. So three things. First, pathological changes. Kari site of injury, what is the level of injury? Second, how or which steps are to be taken to prevent further injury and also further injury in form of hypotension and hypoxia is to be prevented. If these three things are taken into consideration, we can easily say if the patient will survive, and if they will survive, what will be the disability of that. So after spinal shock, complete lesion with early appearance of reflex activity leads to poor prognosis. So spinal shock, initial few days and weeks, 4 weeks, maximum time that we saw in the TBI and spinal cord injury also. If the patient is having complete lesion with early appearance of reflex activity. So complete lesion, actually at the level of injury, C7 level of injury. For example, my patient has C7 level of injury, complete loss check. Yes, complete injury, no sensory, no motor function. At C7 below will be your movement sign with early appearance of reflexes. Reflexes vela avse, that sees a poor prognostic sign. Incomplete recovery is always a good prognosis because some muscles, some sensory supply will be prevented or preserved. And એનાથી આપણે વધારે outcome લઈ શકીએ. Yes. So complete lesion has good worst prognosis compared to incomplete recovery, or we can say incomplete lesion. Improvement begins immediately after the spinal shock. Spinal shock જેમ પૂરું થશે, slowly and steadily the muscles and the sensory supply all will become or here become the normal. Consistent progression of muscle returns further recovery expected. Like first of all, starting now only the large muscles or the proximal muscles will show positive signs. Yes, but if the recovery continues, say for example hip flexor, abductor extensors, they are spared. Yes, and they show good improvement, and slowly steadily you see quadriceps is also moving. That is distally muscles પણ improve થાય છે strength માં. Yes, that sees a good prognostic sign. કે muscles જે પણ spared છે and muscles that are now recovering more and more, we can utilize those muscles and go for much good recovery. After a plateau is reached, no additional recovery expected. Plateau will be reached in around 1 year. Up to 1 year, you can try everything, medications, physiotherapy, X, Y, Z, everything. Yes, but after 1 year, there are very less chances. There are no chances, I'm not saying that. There are very less chances that the patient might recover or get better. Disability then will be permanent. Disability permanent risk. Yes, so up to 1 year, following the trauma, everything is possible. As much as possible, go for the interventions, intensive interventions, and try to gain the normal mode as much as possible. Okay, with this we are completing spinal cord injury. Yes, any doubts you have regarding the same? Yes. In spinal cord injury, we discussed so many things. The first was always the cause. Why does this happen? Yes, so the most common cause that we talked about was RTA. Then we went to decide what is the level of injury and nomenclature to use for us as well as for other therapists, for other practitioners also. Once we are clear with it, given by the Asia scheme, then we went to clinical features and mode of injury. Mode or mechanism of injury. Once we did that, last was prognosis. Yes, so these things that have to be considered, have to be taken in mind while you are treating the patient, not just as a medical practitioner, not just as a physical therapist, even as a caregiver. Someone might have caused or might have been through such a condition, spinal cord injury, and today be living near your house. Yes, so go to them, see what are the differences, see what are the ways in which you can help the patient as a therapist or in any form of medication that can also be given. Now here also we talked initially about UMN and LMN. Yes. At the level of injury, it will always be element types of sign and symptom, and at the level below the injury, it will always be UMN type sign and symptom. UMN type sign and symptom specifically, spasticity will be there. Tone is one of the major contributing factors for any motor activity. So for spasticity, we have already decided and declared which are the medications we are going to provide. Methamphetamine or any other medication that we have decided. In other conditions, the same will be applied here. So medication part is limited. Emergency is a hospitalization phase. The first phase of spinal shock at that time, you might need more catheterization, more IV lines, more monitoring. Later on, this becomes less, but the patient's walking aids will always be one of the conditions in which the patient has to continuously use the walking aids. May that be in form of cane, walker, or even wheelchair. May patient never stand. Yes, if it's quadriplegia, of course, wheelchair will be essential. With this, we have completed the spinal cord injury. In the next lectures, we'll be continuing the other topic, probably dementia after this. Yes. Do let me know if you have any doubt. Reply in the chat with yes or no.